day 25, I think, of this video challenge. And what I thought I'd talk about today is I was in town today, but actually it started when I was down on a training course in London a few weeks ago. And there was a lady who was on the course, a woman who was on the course, who turned up every day looking astonishingly wonderful, really. Very classy, sassy, elegant clothes, colours that really suited her, and she looked great every day, I thought anyway. And the true spirit of NLP, I asked her how she did that. And she shared, very generously shared a number of things. One thing she shared with me was that she loved a bargain, and she got most of her clothes at very cheaply, and it certainly didn't look that way. She looked fantastic. And I mentioned that her colours, she chose colours that really suited her very well. And she gave me a suggestion, which I thought was really kind of her. She suggested I go to a couple of different cosmetic counters. The two that she suggested were Between You and Me was Bobbi Brown and the MAC counter. Well, today I've been to the Bobbi Brown counter. And the reason she suggested I go is she said that when they do your makeup, the colours that they choose for your makeup and the colours they suggest are very likely to be really good colours for you. So my little adventure today was at the Bobbi Brown counter. So I thought I would do this video while I still had the makeup on. So I was thinking I might go for a run later, but I thought better before than after. So I was at the makeup counter, and she was working away, and we were chatting about this, that and the next thing, and she was asking me why I was getting my makeup done, and I was saying that I really hadn't had it done for 20 years. I had no idea really what I did with my makeup. And the conversation went on. And I said, oh, and actually I'm doing some videos at the moment, and is there anything I should be thinking about, for if I'm doing videos? And she said, oh yes, and I think she said put stuff on dark or something, I can't remember, maybe I just made that up. What was interesting though was for the rest of the time she kept talking about what the effect of studio lights on my makeup, and a couple of times I said to her, no, really, it's a phone. I'm doing the videos with a phone. I didn't mention I did them after running, or I think I said sometimes walking down the street. But it was really interesting because she didn't hear it really, and maybe she was wanting to sell me something. It doesn't seem like that. I don't think it was. I mean, obviously she wanted to sell me stuff, but I didn't really get that was the huge driver for the thing. I think she had it in her head that actually I'd said video, and in her mind it was a studio with studio lights and all the rest of it. And that's really kind of what I thought I would chat about quickly today. I know I've already gone over. However, it comes from an NLP perspective again. On some of the trainings that I do an exercise where I have two people get people in pairs and have one chat to the other about a trip or a holiday they've taken, and quite vaguely, just very vague. I went away, we were away for a week, and we flew, and it was a really lovely holiday, something very vague. And I have the other person share back what holiday they thought they'd had. So people will say, well, I'll have them say what carrier do you think they went with, and where did they go, and people will say British Airways or EasyJet or whatever, and Spain, Greece, Doncaster, who knows, it really isn't that. But what is interesting is that although people get some of it right, most of it is not what the other person did. And I think the really funny one was someone said they'd gone to a retreat in a monastery. I think everyone in the room who suggested a colour of robes, there was about 6. There was brown, there was white, there was black, I can't remember what else there was. And it turns out actually the monks in this particular place wore blue robes. None of us guessed blue robes. Anyway, the point of all of this is how much we make up when we're having a conversation, how much we fill in the gaps. And that's fine, we really need to do that. We couldn't really have a conversation unless we did. However, the thing is, sometimes we don't realise we've filled in the gaps. And that's when things can get tricky sometimes. Sometimes we don't realise actually the person didn't say that. We've just filled in that gap. Like the lady today who was doing the makeup. I'd said video and she saw studio, or she thought I meant studio. And from then on, as far as she was concerned, I was doing videos in the studio with studio lights and the whole works. And so I know, I catch myself and I'm just curious where perhaps you can think of a time when maybe, just maybe, you filled in gaps in a conversation in a way that perhaps, just possibly, it didn't quite match reality, or at least the other person's reality. One of the techniques we use in NLP is ways to communicate, to have the greatest chance to be clear about what someone else's experience has been. Because I think there's the saying, first seek to understand before seeking to be understood. And there's great wisdom in that. Once we understand the other person's experience and situation, actually communication often becomes much more straightforward. And when we can't understand the other person's experience or situation, then actually it can be more difficult to communicate effectively. Well, that's me for today. If you've got any feedback on the side I've got a mic on today, my little tripod's arrived, and I've had my makeup done. This is probably a one-off. I didn't leave unscathed. I got a little bit of eyeshadow and stuff, a little bit of stuff around my eyes. Anyway, enough of that, and I've run over again. I'm really sorry, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.